Today, we're talking to representatives of the Israeli army and Hezbollah who are getting along worse than a raccoon and a mountain lion trying to dance the Macarena at 11 p.m. on prom night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama in the middle of pickled egg season. You don't like each other. Now, fellas, what is the problem?
Well, he denies Israel's right to even exist.
He steals my land to further the American empire.
Terrorist.
Infidel.
Whoa, 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 it's worse than a piece of pastrami and a rattlesnake thick shake here. Now, let's try and find things that you two have in common. How do you both feel about, say, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt?
Angelina made the right choice. Love always finds its way.
She's a homewrecker. I hate that cow.
Okay. Let's try an easier topic. Do you guys like the Beatles?
I love them.
I'm a Stones man.
At least that makes sense. Okay, let's go very basic. Do you guys like water?
I love it. Very refreshing drink.
I hate it. I prefer a carbonated beverage.
Terrorist.
Infidel.
This is terrible. I mean, I'd rather listen to Russell Crowe sing than have to listen to this stuff anymore.
Are you kidding? That guy should stick to acting. His music sucks.
I'm sorry, my friend. I did not know.
Welcome back. We're with Bob. Now, Bob, tell us what the problem is.
Well, ever since my wife and my children were burned in that fire, I just can't get past the pain.
Well, Bob, as I always say, you don't have an apple tree, you don't ever get apple juice.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's a good point, Bob. But as I always say, you ask an alligator a question, more than likely he's going to bite your arm off before he answers it.
Hang on, that doesn't make any sense.
What doesn't?
Everything you just said.
Exactly. But see, Bob, like my mom always says, when you sit in a bucket of lemonade, you got to dry your butt in the sun before you drink some more sitting on the settee.
You know, you're a complete sham. You know that?
You know, like my mom always said, life is like a box of chocolates covered in armadillo shit.
Look, just forget it, you know? Thanks for nothing, you nut job.
Okay, there you have it, another Dr. Phil success story. Stay tuned or I'll whip your butts with the chicken that built the hen house out of concrete wood. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks, y'all. Now, on today's show, we're doing urgent interventions. Trying to help people who are in a completely toxic situation get their lives into some perspective. Now, my first guest has got himself more problems than a wild turkey at a transsexual fish farm and square dance fundraiser being held on a major Jewish holiday. He's illiterate. He's a racist. He's violent. He's previously had a raging alcohol and drug habit. He's got 2 teenage daughters who are out of control. And he's even admitted stealing his job from a much smarter, more qualified man. President George W. Bush, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your support.
Welcome back. We're with Susie, who's a bulimic. Is that right?
That's right, Dr. Phil.
You throw up.
Yes.
Well, that's a terrible problem, you know, but as my Uncle Jethro used to say, you keep giving a monkey bananas, he's going to throw up on your rug in the middle of the jungle.
I think you just made that up.
No, I didn't. That's a real saying.
Why would anyone have a rug in the jungle?
Funny you should ask that, because my grandma used to say that the bear that accused people of making things up sometimes got a real swift kick in the badoobies.
I doubt she ever said that.
Well, you know what my cousin Calamine used to say. You call a chimpanzee a liar, and he's liable to go out the back with his house keys and scratch your car while you're still in the green room if you don't shut goddamn the hell up and play along.
Okay. That's a really good saying, Dr. Phil.
Thought so. Okay, we'll take a break. But as my daddy used to say, we'll be back sooner than a monkey with no nuts riding a teepee. Stay with us. Hi, welcome to Dr. Phil. Today, we've got a mother and daughter who are at each other's throats like two hungry vampires on a Transylvanian railroad day parade float. Please welcome Loretta and Sherelle.
Hi, Dr. Phil. Hi.
Now, Loretta, it's fairly safe to say that you two do not get on.
No, sir, we do not.
Now, that's a fairly big knot.
Yes, sir.
Bigger than a full moon at a door-to-door magnifying glass salesman's picnic.
That's right.
Now, when I went backstage before the show, I saw you two in the green room going at it like a plague of epileptic muskrats in a pinball parlor.
Yes, we were.
So what's the problem? What is the source of this mother/daughter disunity?
It's hard to say, Dr. Phil. We started out the best of friends.
You two were closer than a couple of pickled onions in a jar of warm cider vinegar.
And then, all of a sudden, for no reason, she turned.
No, you turn.
No, you turned!
Whoa. There's more turning going on here than a Lazy Susan expo for one-legged ducks. Now, I'm going to start with you, Loretta.
Yeah, but...
No buts. No buts. I don't want to hear any buts. I'm tired of buts. I've seen more butts on this show than a bisexual ranch hand at an ashtray emptying convention. I think we've heard Loretta's side of the story. I think we've got your mother's side pretty clear now. So, what's your take on this relationship-ill breakdown?
I got 4 words for you, Dr. Phil. She never loved me.
She showed you less love than an autistic whore unlawfully imprisoned in a disused monastery wine cellar?
I think so.
She gave you as much love as an orphan seal hunter at a Greenpeace wife-swapping party where half the folks didn't even turn up because it was a blizzard closed the interstate?
Yeah, about that much.
Ooh-wee, that ain't a lot of love. But you know what the patron saint of underwater adventure, Mr. Jacques Cousteau, said when his 93-year-old grandmother was losing pints of blood out of the side of a faulty dialysis machine? I done reckon this old wreck is salvageable. Okay, after the break, we're gonna patch things up between these two, so y'all stick around. Like the Millennium Falcon caught in the Death Star's tractor beam before that old Jedi Master Obi-Wan had a chance to disable it.
Sorry, what?
Just go with it. Hey, y'all, we're here with Katie and Michael, who are engaged to be married, but Katie says she didn't want to get married until Michael's come to terms with the death of his first wife. Now, Michael, your wife tragically passed with cancer 3 years ago. Do you feel you've honestly gotten over it yet?
Yes, Dr. Phil, I do.
Then how come every time you hear her name, you start blubbering like an idiot?
I do not.
Patricia. See what I mean, Dr. Phil?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Well, I ain't convinced you're over it, Michael.
Okay. I may have residual feelings for for my former wife, but that don't mean I don't love Katie any less.
Dr. Phil, when we're making love, it feels like she's looking over her shoulder. I feel like the other woman.
We got a saying back in Texas, two's company and three's a crowd. And it's even more crowded when the third person is dead because you can't tell them to shove on over and give you some space.
Dr. Phil, Katie is just being unreasonable, you know? Like, I can't even have a photo of of my former wife in the house.
You can't even have a photo of her? You've got life-size cardboard cutouts of her in every room. You've had special wallpaper made with her picture on it. The teapot is shaped like her head. Dr. Phil, he's even got Madame Tussauds in England working on a $35,000 waxworks figure.
Hey, that is going to be very, very special, you know? They're using her actual fingernails and her hair.
Speaking of which, has he told you about the hand, Dr. Phil?
Oh, come on, don't bring that up.
Why not?
Because people are going to think it's creepy or something.
It is creepy.
Tell me about the hand.
He had her left hand mummified.
Ew.
And one day I came home and I caught him doing things with it.
I was just moisturizing.
Well, we got a saying in Texas, before you take a woman's hand in marriage, you better stop stimulating yourself with your dead wife's hand.
Seriously? You really have a saying like that in Texas?
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of sayings. It's a big state. Anyway, it seems to me you're jeopardizing a very real relationship with a live woman for an imaginary relationship with a deceased woman.
I have a photo of her here.
Oh, God.
Oh, she's quite a looker.
Yeah.
She makes Angelina Jolie look like a pig.
Yeah.
So you only mummified her hand.
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you're a fool. Yeah, leave the photo with me and post me the hand. It's important that you heal. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you've probably been watching a commercial. I'm talking to Brad. Now, what's the problem, Brad?
Dr. Phil, I have an embarrassing problem.
You're impotent?
No.
Care to prove that?
Now?
Well, my daddy used to say, any squirrel can claim he slept with Sophia Loren, but unless that critter's got a damn fine home movie of the dirty deed or notarized testimony from Miss Loren to that effect, you'd best not believe him.
Did your daddy really used to say that?
I'm not saying Daddy wasn't strange or didn't have a squirrel obsession, but he sure as hell wasn't impotent. Just ask Sophia Loren.
My problem, Dr. Phil, is my wife. My wife beats me.
Is the problem that she's beating up on you, or is it that you're beating up on yourself?
She broke my jaw.
I know that's what you think, but pain is an amazing thing. You know, it can drive you to climb Mount Everest, or it can drive you around the bend. It's like my grandma used to say, the jelly beans always taste best when they come from the bottom of the jar.
I don't understand that.
Don't interrupt me, I'm on a roll. After all, it is better to give than to receive an envelope full of anthrax in the post. 4 out of 5 lawyers recommend Reach toothbrushes. Giggity, biggity, ziggity, doo.
Is it just me, or are you making less and less sense?
Now, don't say you didn't ask for that. If you stick your hand in a beehive, don't be surprised when you get honey under the fingernail of your pinky.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
You have been healed. After the break, more similes involving wildlife and a very special home movie of my daddy and Sophia Loren's squirrel. Y'all come back now, you hear? Welcome back. I'm still talking here to Michelle, who says that her mother's behavior was so appalling that it broke up her marriage. Isn't that right, Michelle?
Yeah, she drove my husband away.
Well, you know, we have a saying back in Texas, don't kill the cat just because it ate the beans. You see what I'm getting at?
Not really, Dr. Phil.
Well, let's say you're expecting guests over for a dinner party and you make a whole big pot of beans, you know. Then you come into the kitchen and you see that a cat's got its head in the bowl, chowing down on your precious beans. Well, your good instinct would be to immediately slay the varmint. What I'm saying is don't. Sure, if it defecates in the beans, then go right ahead and slit its throat. But if it eats the beans, live and let live.
But I don't have a cat.
Oh, me. It's always the same with you people. Well, let me tell you something, Toots. This is Dr. Phil's show. This is all about me.
Sorry, Dr. Phil.
That's okay. We got a saying back home in Texas. If you find half a worm in your apple, don't try to punch your greengrocer's sister in the nuts.
Is that even possible?
The point is you must forgive your mother. She didn't mean to shit in your beans.
That never happened.
Well, that's right, so stop blaming her for ruining your dinner party.
But what about my husband?
No, was he at the dinner party? I thought he dumped you.
What kind of doctor are you?
Let's say podiatrist. Okay. We got to go to a break. Important thing to remember is cover your beans with a lid. Even if they're just simmering. More healing after this. Welcome back, y'all. So, Brett, Lisa, tell me about your situation, and we'll see if we can't be of some kind of assistance in the matter.
Well, we've been married for a few years, but the spark has disappeared.
Dr. Phil, we just don't click the way we used to. I mean, we don't want to get divorced, but we just don't know what to do, so.
Yeah, some good advice from you is our last shot, Dr. Phil.
Well, as my mama used to say, the fat penguin may have eaten all the other penguins' fish rations for the week, but put that same penguin in a fight with a grizzly bear, oh, that old grizzly's gonna win every time, hands down.
What?
Well, you don't get it? Look, it's as clear as the hair on my head. It's like my daddy used to say, take 10 turkeys to the market and sell 9 of them, then you only need to buy another 11 turkeys to make it an even dozen. Unless one of the original turkeys had 2 heads.
Dr. Phil, can I ask you a question?
Well, of course, as my daddy used to say...
No, please stop that. Dr. Phil, my question is this. If a prairie dog suffering from extreme dandruff and short-term memory loss gets stuck in the back of a pickup truck with 3 geese and a stack of hay, what's his chance of survival?
Well, that's a good one. Well, as my mama used to say, the key to any relationship is showing an interest in one another. Take a holiday, go to restaurants, spend time together, and give yourselves a chance to remember the love that brought you together in the first place.
Thanks, Dr. Phil. That's the best advice I've ever had.
Yeah, well, that old prairie dog's gonna have a rough time with those geese driving the turkey truck, that's for sure. So, Loretta, you're saying that your husband was a con man who cheated you out of a multi-million-dollar inheritance?
Yes, that's right, Dr. Phil. This is all the money I have left.
Why don't you hand that over here, y'all? So, you don't think that this 20 being all you have left is somehow your fault?
Absolutely not. I was robbed.
All I'm saying is that maybe you should have been more careful.
Well, can I have my $20 back, please?
No.
But it's mine.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think you'd keep it.
Yeah, that's exactly my point, Loretta. You're playing victim, but the truth is you let yourself get taken for a ride.
But I trusted you, Dr. Phil.
You know, my great aunt has a saying, greasy ankles breed empty wallets.
What does that mean?
It's obvious. The point is I never loaned that scheming old biddy any money because I knew I'd never see it again.
Okay, Dr. Phil, you've made your point. I'm gullible.
Lesson learned.
So, can I have my money back?
No.
But I need it for the ride home.
As my Uncle Benny used to say, you don't got correct fare, you don't get on the bus.
That actually makes sense.
You know, poor old Uncle Benny, he was a bus driver, not a thinker. Stay with us. We'll be back faster than a monkey who used to date Anna Nicole leaving a custody hearing. So let me get this right. You've been engaged now for 7 years, and each time the wedding date approaches, your man Dylan here postpones the wedding another 12 months.
In a nutshell, Dr. Phil.
Sounds to me like you're holding out for something better to come along, Dylan.
No, I'm just waiting for the perfect time.
You know, my mama's mama used to have a saying, the rooster who can't find a mate in a packed hen house is really a dodo.
What you getting at?
Well, maybe it's about time you got yourself a job on a poultry farm. Spend some time wading around ankle deep in chicken shit collecting eggs.
What good would that do?
Look, sure, your fiancé ain't the sexiest squirrel in the zoo, no offense intended, but once you've got so desperate that you've actually made love to a chicken, you'll realize that any woman's more fun in the sack than even the prettiest hen.
Are you really suggesting he goes to a poultry farm and has sexual intercourse with a chicken?
Not literally. I mean, it's a metaphor. It could be a pig farm, a dairy farm, a trout farm, whatever.
Isn't making love to an animal illegal?
Well, sure, but we all do it. It's like my mama's son used to say, open an umbrella indoors and it's bad luck. Open it in your butt and you've got a nasty case of hemorrhoids.
What does this have to do with us getting married?
Nothing. It's just sound general advice, and believe me, I know. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. I'm with Betty and Chuck Makowitz, and the topic is couples who divorce then remarry. Now, you two, listen up and listen good. Answer me this. If a man defecates in a hat, then wears that hat all day, after which he puts a live raccoon down his trousers, then fills his bath with warm custard, and then lies in it, will the raccoon eat the custard before the man eats his hat?
What's that got to do with our marriage?
Nothing. I was just describing what I did on the weekend. By the way, the answer is yes.
Is that it?
That's it. Next up, the raccoon's back for a rematch. The winner will spend the last segment yelling at fat teenagers. Don't miss it.